We are not your people.
And we'll construct a subdivision 30 miles from the most pristine wilderness in North America.
You were right. They're building a city.
It looks like Patrick J. Adams has finally found the role that could truly follow in the footsteps of his Suits success, and it's none other than Taylor Sheridan's new Yellowstone spin-off, The Madison. Even though Adams has appeared in quite a few shows since Suits ended, nothing ever quite filled the same space as his time playing Mike Ross. But The Madison might be about to change that in a big way. When Suits first hit television, Patrick J. Adams' portrayal of Mike Ross, the brilliant college dropout who fakes his way into a top law firm, quickly became one of the show's biggest highlights. His chemistry with Gabriel Mock's Harvey Specter made the show's fast-talking legal drama addictive. But when Adams left after season 7 for personal reasons, fans definitely felt his absence. He did come back for a few episodes in season 9 to help wrap things up, but for most viewers, Mike Ross remained the defining character of his career. Even after Suits officially ended in 2019, it never really went away. In 2023, the show exploded in popularity all over again thanks to Netflix, drawing in a new audience who binge-watched the series like it was brand new. Suddenly, Mike Ross and Harvey Specter were all over social media again, and people started calling for a full Suits revival with the original cast. But while those revival hopes have been floating around, it doesn't seem like one's happening anytime soon. And honestly, that might not be a bad thing, especially since the Los Angeles-based spin-off Suits LA didn't even make it past its first season. Instead of going back to the same courtroom universe, it's much more exciting to see these actors move on to fresh projects. After all, part of what made Suits so strong was its cast, and each of them has taken those sharp instincts and charisma into different roles. But out of everyone, it seems Patrick J. Adams is the one who's landed the next big opportunity, one that could finally match the success and longevity of Suits. That's where The Madison comes in. Created by Taylor Sheridan, the powerhouse behind Yellowstone, Tulsa King, and Mayor of Kingstown, The Madison is shaping up to be Adams' most significant role since Suits. The series takes place in the Yellowstone universe, but focuses on a completely different family living in Montana's Madison River Valley. Adams will star as Russell McIntosh, an investment banker and one of the core members of this new central family. Even though it's not a legal drama, it's got the same kind of intensity and moral complexity that made Suits so compelling. Adams is in some incredible company this time, too. The Madison's cast includes Hollywood heavyweights like Michelle Pfeiffer and Kurt Russell, alongside TV veterans such as Lost's Matthew Fox. That kind of lineup alone has people buzzing. And according to early reports, The Madison might not be a one-and-done season. There's already talk of a Season 2 renewal before the first one even airs. Paramount Plus hasn't made that renewal official yet, but considering how every show Taylor Sheridan touches turns into a hit, it wouldn't be surprising. From Yellowstone to 1883 and 1923, Sheridan has built an entire television empire. His formula of blending gritty storytelling with emotionally layered characters seems to work every time, and The Madison looks ready to follow that same path. Of course, there's always a chance Adams' character won't survive Season 1. Sheridan's known for killing off major characters when no one expects it. But given that Russell McIntosh is a key part of the family driving the story, it's very likely Adams will stick around for the long haul. And if that's the case, The Madison could easily become his first major multi-season role since Suits. That would be a big deal for Adams, because since Suits, most of his TV roles have been shorter appearances. He's popped up in miniseries like Netflix's Wayward and Disney's The Right Stuff, had guest spots in Sneaky Pete and Plan B, and starred in the one-season reboot of A League of Their Own. Each performance showed his range, but none gave him a long-term home the way Suits did. The Madison might finally change that. Another reason to be optimistic is Sheridan himself. The man has a clear pattern of reusing actors he likes. Just look at how he's worked with Billy Bob Thornton, Sam Elliott, James Jordan, and Graham Greene across multiple shows. So, if Adams makes a strong impression in The Madison, it's entirely possible Sheridan will bring him back for future projects, whether that's another Yellowstone spin-off or one of his other dramas like Tulsa King, Lioness, or Landman. And there are a bunch of new Yellowstone-connected projects already in the works. Y Marshals, Dutton Ranch, and the prequel 1944 are all expected to release in 2026. Since the Madison exists in that same shared universe, Adams' character could easily cross over into some of those. Sheridan loves weaving his characters across different series, so don't be surprised if Russell McIntosh ends up making appearances outside his own show. What's particularly interesting about Adams' new role is that it still keeps him tied to the kind of character type that made him famous. Even though the Madison is a Western drama, his character is still a suit, just in a different sense. Russell McIntosh might not be a lawyer like Mike Ross, but as an investment banker, he's still part of the corporate world. The difference is that now he's bringing that slick, city-bred professionalism into the rugged landscapes of rural Montana. It's an intriguing setup. A man from New York's high-finance scene suddenly finding himself surrounded by ranchers, open plains, and small-town conflicts. According to what's been revealed so far, Russell and his wife Paige, played by Elle Chapman, are New Yorkers who relocate to Montana's Madison River Valley to live near her parents, played by Michelle Pfeiffer and Kurt Russell. That mix of urban and rural perspectives could make for some great drama, especially since Sheridan loves stories about outsiders clashing with tight-knit communities. The rest of the cast also sounds strong. Bo Garrett will play Abigail Reese, a recently divorced mother of two and Paige's sister, while Amaya Miller will portray Abigail's teenage daughter, Bridget. Kevin Zegers is joining the cast as Cade, the neighbor responsible for watching the Clyburn property before the family arrives. There is also Danielle Vazanova as Kestrel, an indigenous woman married to a Montana rancher. And Matthew Fox has been confirmed to play Paul, a bachelor who loves the outdoors, likely adding another interesting thread to the story. Behind the scenes, the Madison is backed by the same powerhouse production teams that made Sheridan's other hits. MTV Entertainment Studios, 101 Studios, and Bosque Ranch Productions are all involved, with Sheridan himself executive producing alongside Michelle Pfeiffer, David C. Glasser, John and Art Lindzen, Bob Yari, and others. The show's production is already underway, and while there's no confirmed premiere date yet, it's expected to arrive on Paramount Plus sometime in 2026. Interestingly, the Madison won't directly follow the Dutton family from Yellowstone, which makes it feel like a breath of fresh air for the franchise. As Yellowstone prepares to wrap up its main storyline and bid farewell to Kevin Costner's John Dutton, the Madison represents the next chapter in Sheridan's growing television universe. It's the kind of expansion that could keep the world of Yellowstone alive without repeating the same family drama. And speaking of Costner, his exit from Yellowstone stirred quite a bit of controversy, with fans and the actor himself expressing frustration about how it was handled. But his departure also opens up room for new stories like The Madison to shine, and Patrick J. Adams stepping into that world feels like a smart move. If The Madison is anything like Sheridan's previous projects, viewers can expect a blend of power struggles, family conflicts, and moral dilemmas, only this time set against the backdrop of Montana's sweeping wilderness. And since Adams is known for playing sharp, morally complex characters, Russell McIntosh seems like a perfect fit. He'll likely bring that same intelligence and emotional depth that made Mike Ross such a fan favorite, but now with a darker, more mature edge. It's easy to imagine The Madison giving Adams the same kind of renewed career spotlight that Yellowstone gave its own cast. Because even though Suits will always be remembered as his breakout moment, this could be the project that defines the next phase of his career. The combination of Sheridan's storytelling, a stellar ensemble cast, and Adams' ability to command the screen could make The Madison one of the standout shows of 2026. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.